Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's up YouTube, Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. First night of NFL football yesterday. I want to know my predictions so far. Mahomes came in and did what he usually did. Threw 3 touchdowns. Sammy Watkins had a really good game. I started him in fantasy. Travis Kelce did his thing, got a touchdown. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, oh my God. This guy, if he can do what he did yesterday all season, I can't see any way for the Chiefs to lose a game. Last year, the Chiefs had such a pedestrian run game, and even before that, if you guys remember the year that Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns, Kareem Hunt was dominant at the running back position. And once they lost Kareem Hunt, they pretty much fell off. You know, they were missing that run game in the playoffs that year. But now it looks like they got that run game back, and I'm telling you, watch out. We got to see Deshaun Watson for the first time without Deandre Hopkins, and it didn't look good. Now, I don't think Deshaun Watson is a bad quarterback, but he's missing Deandre Hopkins. He's got Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, Will Fuller. Will Fuller had a pretty good game. He had like 130 yards, but he's missing that dominant presence that you're used to. One thing about the Texans that surprised me actually was the fact that David Johnson was looking great. He was looking like he did his rookie year. He was catching the ball well, making moves in the run game. So he might be a top fantasy option again as far as fantasy football goes. And I think if Deshaun Watson can get some more pass protection and those receivers can actually catch the ball, the Texans can be pretty good this year. Now, without Hopkins, that obviously downgraded them a little, but I think they can still be a good team. A lot of people think now that they're not going to make the playoffs and the Colts are going to make it, but I'm not necessarily someone who believes fully in the Colts yet. So I'm still saying that the Texans are going to win this division, but Deshaun Watson has got to get some help, man. He's got to get some help. He's throwing the ball, it's on the money. I mean, I saw like a beautiful back shoulder throw on the sideline, and Brandon Cooks just dropped it. And then I think the tight end dropped something. Brandon Cooks dropped a couple. Will Fuller, I think, dropped some. So they've got to catch the ball, and they've got to block for him. Like, the Chiefs' rush is really good, and they were getting back there all night. But the thing is, they've got to give him some more time because he's extending the play, but if no one's open and people are dropping the ball, there's really nothing much he can do. As far as the Texans' defense, you just got done to you what the Chiefs offense is going to do to a lot of people. I can't really evaluate now. J.J. Watt looked really good. He looked explosive. He looked healthy. So that's a plus. But overall, I mean, Bradley Roby did a great job on Tyreek Hill that first half. But other than that, I mean, you can't blame them, especially when the Texans, I think, turned the ball over once. So, you know, there was a short field. They weren't really getting into Chiefs territory too much. So it was difficult for that Texans defense to keep them out of the end zone. And Mahomes will throw 3 touchdowns in his sleep. And if he has a running game, I mean, you really can't key in too much on that running game. So they're going to go wild. Teams don't set the tone against the Chiefs offense, you know, force a turnover or do something that just throws them off balance. Get to Mahomes. If you can't get to Mahomes and you can't stop the run and make Mahomes beat you, which sounds crazy, but you don't want to be giving up the run. But if defenses can't do that, they're not going to be able to stop the Chiefs at all. So I can't really evaluate that Chiefs defense. So Texans fans, I wouldn't panic just yet. You got blown out, and you got blown out the last time you were on the field before. But I mean, I wouldn't panic. I don't think that this team is a contender as much as I thought they were last year. Mostly because you have the Chiefs coming back, Baltimore. You have a couple of teams that are coming up that are probably going to take that spot. But I do think that the Texans will be a playoff contender. I think they'll win this division. So I think the Texans will bounce back. They have a tough schedule, I mean, next week as far as they play the Ravens. They played the Chiefs first. Next week they play the Ravens. And I'm assuming that's going to be 0-2. But I think they'll be able to bounce back after that. Deshaun Watson is really good. He's an elite player. I don't know if he was worth that contract because They're going to have to be able to put some pieces around them. I believe they'll be able to bounce back. As far as the Chiefs, let's hope that this was an aberration. For anybody, listen, I'm a Giants fan. We're not winning the Super Bowl this year. But for anybody that thinks that their team has a chance to win the Super Bowl, please hope that this was an aberration and this is not going to happen every week. Because if this is happening every week, you can cancel Christmas. It's over. If Clyde is going to be running the ball like that, and they're going to be protecting Mahomes like that, and their defense is going to be rushing the passer like that, I really can't see too many teams beating them unless you're packing a super defense. You need a super defense. And then even then, it doesn't really matter because Mahomes can still, put up 30 in the blink of an eye. I was really expecting to see a close contested game that came down to the end, but we never get that on Thursday night. So I shouldn't be surprised. But nonetheless, it was really entertaining and satisfying to finally see some football after 6-7 months and no preseason. So it was fun to see that. You guys let me know what you thought of this game yesterday. I think the Chiefs are better than they were last year. And I think the Texans are a little bit worse than they were last year, but I do still think that the Texans are a playoff contender. If you made it this deep into the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, it's Diggy546. I'm out.